Hey, how's it going? My name is Hazeeq and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Aave. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't watched the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of your screen. Now, before we get into the TA itself, let's jump into Twitter. So I did post this Aave update on Twitter, and you can feel free to follow me over here. I do drop in some altcoins that we don't usually cover. I do Bitcoin sometimes. I do the DXY, S&P, and some altcoins that we don't usually cover on the channel. As you can see, we have Dash, XRP. So if you want to send in some suggestions, then feel free to do so. We also do have some metrics sometimes, Patreon updates. And yeah, so we do have a ton of stuff here on Twitter, so feel free to join in. Now let's jump back into Aave. So the last update was on September 28th, and as you can see, we are breaking out of a falling wedge. So I had this falling wedge the last time we were in here, and the last time we did an update, Aave's price was sitting at 75-ish, right, dollars. And I did give you this buy zone anywhere from 67.7 all the way down to 65. And look at this precise wick to the downside. If you go back and check out my last video, you can see that I had this buy zone there. And look at this precise wick on October 13th, all the way down here to $65 on the dot, right? Or it could be a bit lower than that actually, but still. From there, you're already up 29.2%, okay? So almost 30%. So this was a very, very good entry point for you guys. All of you who had buy limit orders at this area, you all got filled in basically, and right now you're already in profit. So that's perfect. Moving up, we are breaking above the 1.414 Fibonacci retracement at 80.2. So if we manage to hold this level as support and we don't drop down below it, this is going to be a very bullish thing, right? We can see that the EMAs are starting to curl to the upside. If we get a bullish cross, that's not going to be a big deal, because getting a bullish cross on the daily chart during a bear market, that's not one of the best things. I mean, it is pretty good, obviously, that's a bullish indicator, but it's just that it's not sustainable over the long term, because at some point in a bear market, you're going to see a move to the downside. So just like he had one bullish cross here, July 27th, as you can see, you had the bullish cross, you got very overextended from the 20 EMA, you had one pull back to the 20 EMA, another pull back to the 20 EMA, another pull back to the 20 EMA, but then you just drop down, right? And in doing so, you created this falling wedge. So I'm going to change the color of that so it's easier for you to see. Let's switch that to purple, okay? And there we go. So as you can see, this purple falling wedge has a technical target of around about $113, because that is where the first touch happened for the falling wedge. And by first, I don't mean that it was the first touch. Obviously, the first touch was here, right? But without the resistance, there is no falling wedge. So in fact, you have this touch of support, and then you have the first touch of the actual falling wedge, because at that point you have your support and your resistance. And then you started going up and down in between these levels here, back testing them as support and as resistance multiple times. And you came back down, you retested the 1.618 on the Fibonacci, and now you're breaking to the upside, and you have a technical target of $113.2. So around that price, and that is a very good opportunity right now for you, because Aave is known to be a strong pumper once it gets to pumping. So that would be somewhat of a 38% trade. And I think that's not too bad in a bear market. Now, after that, we may as well drop back down. That is very, very possible. But, you can catch this swing trade and make some money while doing so, right? And you can just buy back in at a lower price if we potentially come back to the 1.272 afterwards at $90. But like I said, for now, just to see how this goes, let's see if we can solidify above the 1.414. And if we don't lose the 20 EMA on the daily, that's going to be good. As long as we stay above it, we're good for our technical target, and as long as Bitcoin doesn't capitulate. Now let's zoom out and let me show you the swing low and the swing high of this fib retracement. So you have the swing low here. So you actually have 3 identical touches off of this level throughout the beginning of 2022, and that was at $113. That's exactly the level that we retested over here in August as resistance this time. And you have your swing high here at $262, right? So you got your 1.618, you retested that. So right now what you've done is you retested a previous level that you lost essentially, and you had actually another retest here prior to this one in July, and now you're having your second retest. So this is a bullish statement from Aave. It's looking like the 1.618 is turning into a very strong support zone. So like I said, it's all about buying off of support zones. It's all about taking profits when RSI is overbought. If you're taking profits, right? If you're holding for the next 5 years, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. You can just buy off of these support levels. You can buy on red days like these capitulations here that you see. So if you're buying for the long term, I wouldn't be worried too much, because if you zoom out, you can see that you're pretty much as low as you can be in this bear market. Obviously, we could go down back to $49, and that's quite far away from where we are right now. That's potentially another 39% pullback, but even if that happens, you can simply dollar cost average, right? That's all about dollar cost averaging. And I'm not talking about buying every single day, putting $100 every single day or every single week, because that is not really practical in my opinion. I'm more for buying on the red days and buying in heavy on the red days, but never all in, because you can always go lower. There's always going to be that one bearish news that's going to drive the markets down, or China's going to ban mining once again, and the markets are going to go down, and the average Joe is going to be scared because China is not allowing mining for the 63rd time in the last 5 years, and he's going to sell, and he's going to create selling pressure. And what you have to do is you have to come in and sweep the lows. While everyone is selling, you want to be buying. Moving to the daily RSI, you can see that we're breaking through 2 major horizontal resistance, or not horizontal, diagonal resistance trend lines. And this is a very, very bullish statement, because every time you broke above the white trend line, you ran into the pink one. Right now, you are breaking the white trend line and the pink trend line, or the burgundy trend line. And you can see that this may be a fake out, right? Because if you don't continue on from here, or you don't back test this burgundy trend line as support, you're probably coming back down to the white trend line at the very least. So this was a symmetrical triangle that I gave you in the last video, and as you can see, we were very near the apex of the pattern, and we ended up breaking to the upside. So this was a very tradable event in my opinion. We're still not overbought by any means. So if you get above the index of 70 in the next 3 to 4 days, you could potentially take some profits, because Aave is known to have these strong pumps, right? If it starts pumping, it can pump really, really hard. So just be on the lookout for that. And let's switch over to the Binance website. Okay, so moving to the weekly chart, I just want to remove all the drawings. For now, you can see that what we've done is we printed a higher low, and this is very bullish. This is very bullish because a lot of altcoins are losing their June lows and coming even lower, and that's not very good in my opinion, because if you're losing a key support level, you have more targets to the downside. So what Aave is doing is it ran into the 20 EMA on the weekly chart, and as I've said multiple times, the 20 EMA on the weekly, on the daily chart, those are major resistance levels, and you usually retest them during a bear market. So as you can see, you had a retest here in April, a retest here in January, and another retest here in August. So potentially we might see a retest in October, November, but I'm more inclined to believe that we may actually break above it if Bitcoin allows us to do that. If Bitcoin doesn't start dumping in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we may be well on our way to retest $105. Now let's bring back the drawing. So as you can see, I do have this zone here, this resistance zone from $115 all the way down to $108. That is a zone that we have retested as support in March, and then we have retested it as resistance in May and in August. So this is a very, very strong resistance trend line, but if we manage to break above it, I would be targeting the 55 weekly EMA, and currently that's sitting at $139. Keep in mind the EMAs are constantly moving towards the price. So if the price is below the EMA is going down. If the price is above, the EMAs are curling to the upside. Now you can see you have 5 resistance trend lines above us, and all of these are based off of previous swing highs and swing lows. If I bring out the price tags, you can see that you do have so 526, 414, 323, 241, and 175. So these are major resistance levels for us to break, and this is going to be a long way, obviously, for us. So the first like major level for us after breaking this major level at $115, that would be $178 to $180, because this was the bottom during the pullback in June 2021. This is where we bounced off of in December. And after that, you had one retest of resistance in February. You broke above in March. And since then, you haven't come back to that level. So potentially, you may come up there to retest that level as resistance. But over here right now, this is good to buy. Once you're up here, you're good to sell. Having said that, we may have more targets to the upside. So if I bring out a Fibonacci retracement to see what is our potential in the next bull market. So you can see that Aave has a minimal target of $1,384. Now, I haven't done a very in-depth research on Aave, and I don't know what is the token unlock system over there, and I don't know if the supply has been drastically increased since this high in May of 2021, but based on the fib, it is possible that we may see at least a 1,376 price for Aave. Now, I would like to make a video on Aave, and I'm probably going to do an in-depth tutorial or an in-depth review for Aave, just to see what is the potential based on fundamentals. But for now, that is it. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends and family if that would help them out. Support the channel, guys, because that does help me out during these bear market times. As you can see, interest is not at an all-time high, so not a lot of demand for the videos. So any like, support, any comment would be very much appreciated. Thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.